were like the superstar teams that would make it to the NBA Finals, and we were like a second tier team, kind of like the way we are now. Except we didn't have a LeBron James and an AD. We had
Right.
Vlade and Eldon, and we had damn near the same amount of success. We didn't have a Western Conference run, a Western Conference Finals run, but we had everything else. We had the same record. And we were like the fifth seed, the sixth seed, without a superstar. And
Man,
our our whole starting lineup and our bench is better than all the guys that we have
Come
on
on,
this team
Lakers.
now, besides AD and LeBron. That
Please
whole
make this.
team is better than
Finally.
everybody. Going from our bench to Sadell Three to Anthony Peeler, those guys are all better than the guys we have backing up AD and LeBron now. More consistent.
so how deep do you put blame on Rob Pelinka?
I start to blame with Magic.
Boy.
I start with Magic Johnson. As soon as he got there, he started tearing that young team apart. I hated him ever. I've been mad at him ever since. Because I feel like if you look at the Dirk Nowitzki Mavericks and the you look at the Kawhi Leonard Toronto Raptors and you look at the Giannis Bucks, who all won championships, I don't think their supporting cast is better than that young core that we had.
Wow.
What young
And I
core?
think, yeah, that young core that we had, I don't think when you
What
look
young
at
core you
Jason,
talking about?
the young core that we had in 2018,
What? Wait a
the
minute. Wait a
Kuzma,
minute.
the
Wait.
Josh Hart, the
Okay.
the
Okay.
Lonzo
Okay. Okay.
Ball,
I can agree with. I can. You're talking about from a potential standpoint or from a real time execution standpoint?
well, I'm looking at a potential standpoint, but only a 2 year. I'm just looking at them playing together for a couple years.
Good enough.
I
Okay.
mean,
Okay. Okay.
I'm not looking at them like. I mean, I don't know how soon they could have won it, but I
Right.
just say that the talent that LeBron had when he got here was was they were blue chippers. These players played for UCLA, they played for Duke, they played for Kentucky, they played for the top programs, and they
Right.
were all like 6'7". They were 3 and D. They were 6'5" point guards. We had a championship guard in Josh Hart from Villanova. I mean, we had a dude from Europe, Zubac, who was a true 7 footer.
Thank God LeBron's okay in this game. He got
I
injured early.
mean, LeBron had a squad around him. He really did. And I don't see how he couldn't see. I don't understand how he couldn't see how talented those guys were.
I don't know, man. Again, I
I
respect.
mean, look how pathetic our role players are now. I mean, this is why I didn't like the trade. I mean, this is exactly why I didn't like it, because I knew that we weren't gonna be able to replace those guys.
But half of these guys that we complaining about opted in this off season. We passed the effects of the AD trade. Some of this shit could have been eliminated this summer. Look how many of these guys that we complaining about just re-signed with LA this off season.
Yeah, I mean, the AD trade maybe would not have been as bad if they didn't just continue to use that same philosophy. But
Okay.
once you start trading away your assets, and it started with Zubac. Once you start trading these guys away, and it started with Randall just letting him fall off. When you just start letting your guys go and you don't value them, then this is where you end up.
Here's another one that has been really big as far as a debate in the Lakers community. Not really a debate, but definitely a conversation when we're talking about affecting the team's trajectory. What was your thoughts on the 2020 What was that? When did we get out Russell? 21? Westbrook.
Yeah.
Knowing that the Brooklyn Nets had KD and James Harden and Kyrie, and that seemed to be the expectations of the team that would be representing the East, and you got the Lakers with LeBron and AD, not too long coming off of a chip, but those two would not be enough to compete with those three if they were to go head to head in the final round. And I know there were talks about there was a deal done for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, and they wound up going with Russ, former MVP, and all that other type of stuff. Do you blame the Lakers? Of course, in hindsight, it was a bad move, but do you blame the Lakers at that time, Brian, for going for Russell?
I don't know. I thought the Russell trade. I mean, I think that Russell and LeBron are basically the same player,
Right.
except one of them is 6'9" and 260, and the other one's a point guard. But they're both highly athletic. They both average triple doubles. They both do everything on the court, but they turn the ball over a lot, and their outside jump shot isn't that consistent. So I thought that they were both the same exact player. So I didn't know how it was going to work. I didn't know how it was going to work. I didn't see AD. I didn't see Westbrook as a spot up shooter. I didn't see. I pretty much agree with the consensus that wasn't a good fit. So, but again, that's Clutch and that's AD and that's LeBron. It's like for me, I don't know who to blame for anything because I don't know who's actually controlling the player personnel up there.
Right. All right, Lakers land is 92-77. We are going into, I believe, the fourth quarter. The Lakers have pretty much controlled this game for the duration, man. They had a solid opening frame. Dalton Connect, who was pretty much reinserting into the starting lineup tonight. He had led them after the first quarter with 10 points.
Second game in the season, I'm surprised. It happens. They lost.
And then at halftime, the Lakers was up by 11. So Lakers are pretty much controlling this game, trying to close it out.
Dalton Connect is doing good. He's got 15 points.
Yeah, mute yourself, Mr. 81. I don't want to hear you chewing all in my ear with your little turkey sandwich. What's your impression on JJ Redick so far? So far, so good?
I don't like him.
You don't like him at all?
Nope.
I call him JJ Reckless.
I don't like him. I can't stand him.
What don't you like about him the most? Because I feel like he does a lot of showboating for the cameras, a lot of extra stuff for the cameras.
Well, the first thing that I hated about him is when he called the older players firemen and plumbers.
Oh,
I thought that was very disrespectful. And then I don't like the way he treats the media.
Yeah, I agree.
And I just think if Darvin sucks, then maybe Redick sucks too, because they're the same. The team looks the same.
Are you surprised in his first 17 games he has an identical record as Darvin last year?
No, I'm not surprised. I mean, you got the euphoria of a new coach. Guys come out and play hard for the new coach. That's how they got the first 3 wins
at home.
I mean, the one thing that he did say, he said it's a roster issue, and we all know it's a roster issue. So how you gonna blame Darvin? How you gonna blame Redick? They're both gonna suck for this team as long as the roster is bad.
Right.
So either Darvin Ham's a good coach and Redick's a good coach, or both of them got work to do on the coaching end.
I think it just boils down to watching Darvin Ham. It just seemed like he was just, maybe it's a facade from JJ, but I've seen much more ball movement under JJ Redick than I've seen under Darvin Ham. You talk about adjustments, lack of adjustments lines up. Like Darvin Ham, no disrespect. He just was like, I liked him much more at the beginning than towards the end. Towards the end of this relationship with the Lakers, I just didn't understand what Darvin Ham was doing on a night in, night out basis. And maybe he was just frustrated, but when he first came into the Lakers, I was excited. I'm like, yo, this dude looked like, even if he's not the greatest X's and O's coach, he looked like he can get these guys to play for him. Like he's a player's coach, and he just won in Milwaukee. And then they went to the Western Conference Finals, and I thought shit was looking good. And then I just started to see so much disconnect with him and D'Lo, and then him and Rui, and then him and Max Christie, and all these other. It just kept snowballing. Then I'm watching LeBron be so disengaging and disrespectful to him on the sideline. It just was bad, bro.
I know. But it's funny that Darvin Ham used to say, "Meet force with force." Remember, he used to always say that.
Yep.
And then the other night, I heard James Worthy say, "You got to meet force with force." and then yesterday, I think it was JJ Redick. Oh, they just didn't have the right spirit. So basically, the Laker team got called out for being soft by Darvin Ham last year and JJ Redick this year. So the Lakers got called out for being soft by both of their coaches.
That basically should be their damn responsibility.
Right. So Darvin Ham was trying to tell them, and now JJ Redick got to tell them. So all that running around and ball movement and all that's going to get you a couple points here and there. But when it comes time for these teams to get stops, the Lakers can't get stops.
This LeBron James turnover thing is really potentially going to be a problem.
He got 8 assists and 5 turnovers.
Wow.
Like that's basically, and everybody talks mess about D'Lo, but D'Lo got 5 assists and no turnovers.
And how efficient has D'Lo been for tonight? I don't even have the box score, but I know he was buckets in the first half.
Oh, he's buckets. He's got 17 points.
Woo.
He's 3 for 6 from 3. And
he's shooting what from the fields? 60%?
63% from the field, 50% from 3.
Oh my God.
And he got 5 assists and no turnovers.
Wow. Yeah, LeBron, damn. That's crazy, bro, for someone who's always been credited for having such a great basketball IQ throughout his career. And we just watching how things are playing out with some of LeBron's decision making over the years. It's crazy. I used to make excuses and say, it's the usage rate. So the most you had a ball in hand, of course you're gonna turn it over. But now you can't get no.
But the more you have it in your hand, the less you're supposed to turn it over.
That's true.
That's what a real point guard is.
That's true.
I'm back.
Like, they don't even care about that these days.
What are you doing, bro? This is what I mean. That's why LeBron ain't the GOAT.
Watch your mouth. LeBron is definitely the GOAT. Oh, Rui. Okay.
Almost turn over the ball. He ain't the GOAT. Stop it. You're delusional.
We were just talking about the turnover machine.
If you think LeBron's a GOAT, you're delusional.
I don't think it. I know it. There's no thinking about it.
Anybody that thinks LeBron's the GOAT, you're delusional.
I'm going to be that. But I'm going to tell you over. What's going on with GOAT? What's going on with GOAT, James?
You're glazing another man GOAT. Calling him a GOAT.
So how long you been a Laker fan, Seven?
LeBron James signed his 4-year deal.
Huh?
Has LeBron James signed his 4-year deal?
He's not a Lakers fan. Man. He's not a Lakers fan.
I don't play no games.
He ain't a real Lakers fan.
It's cool, but see, I hold him, like, when I look at LeBron, I look at him as a Laker.
Mm-hmm. Bronny, he ain't a real Laker fan.
I'm a Laker fan through and through. Like,
but see, this is the thing. This is the thing. You cannot, at least with me, and I'm not talking about you. I'm not even talking about Mr. 81. But see,
I'm not a Laker fan, bro.
I'm a content creator, so I've been creating content for years. You can't tell me that you are a Laker fan just because you have been just watching the team for X amount of years, or if you've lived in the area and that's just your favorite team for X amount of years. Like, I have been following the NBA. I'm 46 years old. So I've been following the NBA since the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and to now. So I have followed all pockets of the Lakers just as well as other organizations. So even though even though I have not been a supporter of the Lakers until LeBron has come into the mix, means absolutely nothing when we talk about the knowledge, the history, the education of the
What a
Lakers.
joke.
Because I could bet the rent money, Mr. 81, you claim to be a Lakers fan. I guarantee I know more about your team than you do. I would bet the rent money on it.
Brian, Seven Mitchell's not a real Lakers fan. He's a LeBron fan.
That's the difference.
He ain't a Lakers fan.
He's a follower. I watched all the Laker games since about '93.
See, that's what I'm saying. I respect the longevity of a Lakers fan. Like and like you said, when anybody asks me, when did I become a supporter of the Lakers? When LeBron brought his ass to LA.
I've been a Lakers fan since 2010.
I see the differences. Like I compare this team to other Laker teams and see where our weaknesses is, because I feel like since we've been to so many finals, since we've been to so many playoffs, since we've been to so many championships and we won so many, there's kind of a blueprint that we have to win championships. So when I look at this team now, I don't see the blueprint.
But you also
I see LeBron James and AD, but I don't see the blueprint to win championships.
But that's just on the basketball court. There's also that's just on the basketball court. But watching this team, we also know that the blueprint of the Lakers also start from upstairs.
Exactly. That's why I said that's why I blame Magic from the jump. Like I blame Magic first. Like it was just like I feel like Jim Buss made some mistakes when he signed Mozgov and Luau Deng. He made some mistakes in free agency, but he protected those picks when he traded for Dwight Howard and Steve Nash. So that was a gift to Magic and LeBron, because they had all these lottery picks on their team when Magic got here. They had all this talent. So, they basically had all this talent and they kind of screwed it up. Like, for me, you can't screw that up when you got all that talent.
I've been a Laker fan since 2010. So does that mean I'm not a real Laker fan? Because I wasn't born in the era before that.
No, I'm not.
I don't care. I don't judge Laker fans. I just ask.
I'm not disputing whether you are. I'm not disputing whether you are a Laker fan or not, Mr. 81. That's not the. What you like to do is make it seem like because I have been a supporter of the Lakers since LeBron has been here.
Yeah, you're not.
What I say about the Lakers don't count because I wasn't a supporter before LeBron came.
So
when I can tell you more about your Lakers before LeBron came than you can. I've been watching the Lakers before you were born. I'm 46
I know that, but you're not
old.
a real Lakers fan if you're calling yourself.
I never said you're never, because I have a platform, a Lakers platform. I don't call myself a Lakers fan. Do I?
No, because you're a LeBron
You
fan.
call yourself Mr. 81. You are basically have Kobe in your mouth. You have branded yourself behind Kobe Bryant.
Bro, the reason why I became a Laker fan is because of Kobe, and I still am a Laker fan.
Goku in the building. What's that word, Goku?
I've been a Laker fan since Kobe Bryant retired.
You've been a Kobe. You've been a Kobe fan. You've been a Laker fan since when?
Kobe Bryant. How I became a Laker fan is when I was watching TV and I saw Kobe Bryant the Lakers. I was like, you know what? That's going to be my new team, and I've been rocking with them ever since. Like late 2000.
Was that Connect balling? Or was that?
That's awesome. Who's that?
Let me see. Did Connect do anything?
He's been
Oh no, he hasn't done much yet.
Awesome.
I'm taking Connect over LeBron. I'm just kidding.
Here we go.
I'm playing.
Connect gotta explode Connect has to assert himself to be better than LeBron. You just can't say it. He got to actually show it.
You got to show it.
He hasn't done it.
I
Kobe
don't glaze
actually
LeBron.
ran Shaq out of town. He
I ain't a
actually
LeBron
showed
fan.
it. So Connect LeBron, as long as he's still holding it down, somebody on the court got to like force him out.
Hey, Brian, are you a LeBron fan or a Laker fan?
I'm a Laker fan.
He's a
So
Laker
you don't
fan.
glaze LeBron like Seven Mitchell then?
This kid loves to take shots.
Yeah,
I laugh at Mr. 81 every day.
You ain't a
No,
LeBron.
I'll be kind of mad at LeBron because
Facts.
I'll be mad because it's kind of silly, but I'm like, this dude got us one championship and we treating him like he Magic or Kobe.
Facts.
But if y'all wouldn't have gotten LeBron, if y'all wouldn't have gotten LeBron, you think you would have still? You think y'all would have still had a championship?
Yes.
We'd be contending. We'd be a contender right now.
Facts. I agree, bro. Hey, Brian. I have a question. Who's your GOAT? Kobe or LeBron?
I don't really have a GOAT.
You know?
I saw LeBron was better than Kobe because he could get to the rim and he was bigger and stronger.
But who do you like better between the two?
I like Kobe. I think it's easy for me to put a team around Kobe than it is around LeBron.
That just shows you that Kobe's the real GOAT. LeBron.
I think it's easier to put a team around Kobe.
27
than
Mitchell.
It would be
You're
to
getting
put
exposed.
a team around LeBron.
You're getting exposed, 7 Mitchell. LeBron ain't the GOAT.
I'm getting exposed when I watch LeBron go to 3 destinations and win championships.
Bro, even Brian is saying he's picking Kobe.
I'm not mad at what Brian is saying. Brian is not the end all be all when we talking about basketball. He has an opinion just like you do. But what I'm telling you is this: I witnessed LeBron go to 3 destinations and lead them to championships.
I don't know what eye test you're talking about, but your eye test is wrong.
Of course you don't, because you don't watch the game. Of course you don't.
Is wrong.
This is why our conversation, our dialogue is always going to end up being in a trolling aspect.
LeBron ain't no GOAT. I'm sorry.
He's definitely the GOAT.
In your eye test, you think LeBron's a GOAT.
Absolutely.
It's in your own book.
Okay, Wemby.
Your own eye test that you saw.
Yo, it's so easy for dude.
Come on, Lakers. But come on, LeBron, don't turn over the ball. Come on, Lakers. There's no reason we should lose this game. We're in this. We pretty much had to lead throughout the whole game, right? We pretty much did.
What year did Kobe retire, Mr. 81?
Shoot, I know what year. I just don't remember.
Look at this,
but I know he scored 60 points.
Was
this
fake Lakers fan. Look at this fake Lakers fan. If
I
give you a pop quiz right now, I will expose you. You running your fucking mouth. I could expose you tonight, but I'm trying to be good. Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving.
Was it 2016, 2014 or something?
My God.
Am I wrong or am I right?
Of course you're wrong.
What year was it?
Look, you're the Lakers fan. I'm not the Lakers fan, remember? Why you asking me?
All right, Brian, what was it then?
You're looking for an alley-oop from Brian. You looking for alley-oop?
But I know Kobe Bryant scored 60. You said what?
2016, Kobe retired.
I just said I was right. I said either 2016 or 2014, so I was right. I
give 2 answers and say you were right.
But I am right. I picked
you give 2 answers and say you're right. Really?
But I said 2016 before I said 2014.
How many points did he have in his last game?
You can't ask Mr. 81 no real questions. I'm telling you.
I know that question. Are you talking about that Jazz game?
How many points did Kobe have his last game?
60.
How many shot attempts? How many shots it take to get to 60, Mr. 81?
A whole lot.
I don't remember. It took a lot, 50. But I know he had 60.
50, yep. Kobe never was shy on shooting.
Facts. That's why Kobe's the real GOAT. Ain't
he was
LeBron.
A bad man, though.
Do you agree with me, Brian, that the reason why Kobe Bryant's the GOAT is because he scored 81 points and LeBron's never scored that in his career?
That's crazy.
I don't really believe in a GOAT, man. I can't believe in a GOAT.
I can't believe in a GOAT. But again, just listen to his logic in distinguishing the greatest of all time. Because Kobe dropped 81, which isn't even the highest amount of points in the game. He's the greatest of all time. I'm trying to figure out where Wilt Chamberlain falls into this conversation, Mr. 81. since
Well,
that is your
well,
barometer.
I don't know if he really scored 100. What if people actually make that shit up?
Oh Lord, you're making up that you're a real Lakers fan.
No,
That's
I'm
what
not.
you making up.
I ain't making up shit.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
If I
So,
ask you,
so me saying Kobe Bryant scored 81 points is making it up? No, it's not. It's a fact. He scored
watch
81
this,
points against the Raptors.
Oh my God, Dalton just hit another.
Dalton.
Yeah, he need to be starting.
Yeah, I need to start. Dalton Connect is the next Michael Jordan. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
He needs to be starting.
rookie wall be damned. Like if he hit the rookie wall, he just hit it. He need to be starting.
Yeah, Dalton Connect is better than LeBron. He needs to be starting.
Is Dalton better? Can Dalton be better than Rui before this season is out?
He's already better than Rui.
He's already better than Rui.
He clears
Yeah.
LeBron. LeBron should be coming off the bench.
You know, Dalton Connect
I'm
has
just
a
kidding.
40-inch, has a 39-inch vertical leap.
He played 5 years in college.
Yep.
Damn.
You know, he got a 39-inch vertical. Kobe had a 38-inch vertical.
Yeah, I know offensively he like that.
Yeah.
He's like that.
That's why we just need. That's why, you know, I'm just saying, man. Lakers are used to dominating the paint, man. How do we do on the rebounds tonight?
I ain't even got the box score.
46-37. See, when we win the rebounding, if you can win the rebounding battle, you're gonna win a lot of games.
Got you. I can respect that. Well, when it's like that, do you look at San Antonio? Because we do know that our front court, if we want to call it that, we ain't got one. Ain't no Christian Wood out there. Ain't no Jackson Hayes. Ain't no Vando out there. So if we are winning the rebound battle significantly, I got to look at the Spurs. Like, what the hell they doing?
Well, Spurs, Victor Wembanyama is playing center, and you know he's super light,
right?
Super lightweight, and Harrison Barnes is their power forward. Harrison Barnes is a small forward. He ain't no power forward.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So when you go with Victor, you know, we kind of win that matchup physically.
It's going to balance out eventually. It's going to even out.
But, you know, if they had a real power forward, or they played Victor Wembanyama at the power forward and they had a real center, like when they used to play, remember they used to play Tim Duncan at power forward, and they used to have like those centers, like Splitter and stuff.
Yeah, Tiago Splitter.
Yeah, they would have like, you know, so that's what they need. They need to move Wembanyama to the power forward and get a solid center.
Wasn't that Tiago who LeBron blocked?
Yeah, that
was Tiago. Shit was
that's like a mythological block.
Ooh, that was
mythical,
nasty.
Yeah, so that's why we won tonight. We beat them in the boards. You got to win the boards, man. LeBron had 9 rebounds. He had 3 offensive.
How many offensive boards did Austin have tonight?
None.
None, really?
No, he usually gets off a couple. He only had 2 rebounds tonight.
JJ has been harping on rebounding all off season.
Yep. LeBron got another 11 assists.
Did you ever think, and it's so early, but I was saying in one of my videos, I never thought I would see the day where LeBron James would be on the team and you would have someone in the conversation for MVP as well as Rookie of the Year, and LeBron wasn't the name in either one of those conversations. I never thought I would see today.
Well, he was 10th in MVP ranking, I think, LeBron.
Right. Yep.
But he had a triple-double tonight. See, this is the way I want to see him play. I want to see 10 boards. I want to see, you know, I want to see less points and more rebounds. Because he could still do it. But I don't like him scoring a lot. I mean, if AD's out, he got to go off, then fine. But I want to see him getting boards, shoring up the defense, and you know, he could get the 11 assists. That's cool. But I want to see him averaging a double-double in rebounds. Because that's where AD needs a lot of help.
You think he's chasing that 50?
What, 50,000 points?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably.
I felt like there was a time that that him and his team kind of strategized that 40,000, you know what I mean, figuring out what needs to be done to get to that point. But I'm wondering if he's really considered the 50,000 and if he's, I know Mr. 81 like to call it stat pad, and if he's trying to put himself in that position to reach that milestone before it's all said and done.
I mean, that's cool. He got all them points, but do you know he had 6,000 points in his career before Kareem was even in the NBA?
Say that again.
LeBron James had like 6,000 points scored by the time he was the same age as Kareem Abdul when Abdul was a rookie.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had let me see. Because he came in the league at 18 years old, right?
Right.
Let's see. Let me see. Let me just open it up. LeBron. Okay. LeBron James came in at 19 years old. And his first year, he had 1,654 points. His second year, he had 2,175 points.
Okay.
In his third year, he had 2,478 points.
That's about
And
6,500.
he was 21 years old.
Damn, that's about 6,500.
And then when you look at Kareem, let's see. Let me pull up Kareem for you here. Kareem was 22 when he came in the NBA. And his first year at age 22, he had 2,361 points.
So LeBron was almost, what's that?
So in year 22, LeBron had 2,132 points, but he already had 3 years in the NBA. Right?
That's a fact.
And then when they do like year 21 for LeBron, which was what year was he in? Year 21, I think. Let's see. Like because this is year 21 for LeBron, or is this year 22?
This is year 22, Ian.
Okay. So year 20, they did year 20 for LeBron, right? So when they did year 20 for LeBron, he was 38 years old and he averaged 28 points a game. But when Kareem was 38 years old, he averaged 23 points.
With Los Angeles?
Yep. In 85, 86. Damn. So but if you compare like to year 20, he only averaged like 10 points. So if you compare the average of year 20 in the NBA, it's a big difference. But Kareem at age 38 in the NBA averaged 23.4 points a game. So he was and this was in the 80s when they didn't have all this modern technology.
Physical, way more physical.
Yeah. So he was averaging 23 points a game at age 38.
But my thing about that is I also take in consideration the skill at that position. Like LeBron at the positions got to face way more skill competition than Kareem was facing night in and night out. And guys like Wilt had to face at that position night in and night out. Like the competition wasn't the same.
No, the competition
going against the KDs.
The competition is the same.
How?
As far as his not being able to be stopped. Like LeBron couldn't be stopped, Kareem couldn't be stopped.
No, I'm saying as far as who those guys have to compete against. LeBron is competing against guys night in and night out that's on his level. Kareem ain't competing against guys that's on his level night in and night out. He's just above the rest for real.
No, ain't nobody on LeBron's level, or he wouldn't be the GOAT.
No.
LeBron,
Listen, I'm not talking about when I say level. I don't mean as far as being able to be even, but you can't tell me that the Kevin Durant's, the Steph Curry's, the Kawhi Leonard when he was healthy, those guys are all threats. Those guys are MVPs. Those guys are winning season awards. Like those guys they're not as great as LeBron, but those guys are in the mix. Those guys are threatening legacies. Kareem didn't have a bunch of centers that threatened his legacy like that.
Moses Malone won 3 titles during that era. Moses Malone, he won 3 titles.
Look
Bill
how
Walton
long
had injury problems. Bob McAdoo, he was one of the most prolific scorers. He had to play against Julius Erving.
But they were teammates.
No, I'm talking about Kareem. He had to play against Dr. J.
But they didn't play the same. They didn't guard. That wasn't the same position.
I'm just saying. You saying Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard? And
yeah, because a lot of the times you will have LeBron and a KD. You'll have a LeBron You'll have a LeBron versus a KD on both ends. You'll have a LeBron versus a Kawhi on both ends. You're never getting Dr. J versus Kareem for a substantial amount of time.
Yeah, but you had Moses Malone.
But again, how many times did the Lakers have to?
Moses Malone?
How many times did the Lakers have to play Philly? That's how many times? You see what I'm saying? Like the night in and night out that LeBron have to face as far as competition. Kareem is only facing Moses Malone twice a year, unless they make the finals.
You know how many times KD and LeBron James have played?
Due to injury.
Yeah, but it wasn't for
injury, if it was for schedule, those guys would have played much more against each other. Injury was never an excuse for the competition that Kareem played. It just wasn't as on his level. It was like just like with Wilt. That's why I be putting so much respect on LeBron's game, because the game was much more physical back then. But shit, these players are way more skilled than they were.
How many times Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain played each other? 94 times.
Yep.
Okay. So that you're talking about a battle of giants 94 times.
Yep.
And if you say how many times did LeBron play against KD?
But you got to take consideration how many teams was back then, how many times Boston played.
That's what I mean. I am taking that in consideration, but that just shows how hard it was, because you had few teams, so you had to run against the same mofo every other night.
It's much harder. It's much harder to play someone that you're not able to study for. And that comes from me. That comes from my knowledge of playing the game in high school and in college. It's much harder.
LeBron James played against Kevin Durant 29 times. That's it. As long as they've been playing, 29 times, according to stat.
But we're not just boiling it down to LeBron and KD versus Kareem, versus Wilt and Bill Russell. Look at all the other guys who was in that level, the Steph Currys, the Kawhi Leonards. Again, we got like 3, 4, 5 guys in a circle, not as great as LeBron, but guys are vying for face of the league in real time. It wasn't even if Wilt and George
But the only way to counter or to like say that those guys aren't as good is because they won championships. So that's when you get back to all the guys that Jordan beat in the championships. Well, those guys aren't considered on the level of KD and Steph because they didn't win.
But again, this is why
So it's
I
like that's
respect
how.
Michaels more than Wilt's, because again, the level of competition. You
But
think
Wilt only won one.
no, but I'm saying not just Wilt and Russell. The level of competition was in Michael's day way more.
I
That's
don't
why I
know.
respect the win more.
I don't think so.
Who was these? Who was guarding Bill Russell?
Bill Russell was the defender.
But you have to.
Whoever was guarding Bill Russell, they couldn't do anything with him because he was too fast.
BA, you can come on up, G.
Yes, sir. Salute, fellas.
Salute, bro. What's that word?
Man, the Lakers are going to be another. They're going to be a play-in team again, messing around, playing like they playing, man.
Why are you hating on my guys, bro?
I'm not hating on the Lakers, bro. It's just like when LeBron has to be, LeBron is trying to be a distributor, right? And it's cool, be a distributor or whatnot, but that means the ball is in his hands too much, meaning that he's taking the development like he's been doing for the last 4 years away from the other gentlemen who are new to the squad or can potentially get better and be better.
Brian was making some great points tonight. We had a conversation, BA. We was talking about something that I know you've been saying a lot here on Lakers Land about, that young core that the Lakers had when LeBron first came into the mix. I've never regretted getting rid of them dudes for real, even though I got a respect for them. But Brian was saying that he didn't like the trade of Anthony Davis at all. He would have preferred that the Lakers would have picked up AD in free agency instead. I wasn't sure if it would have worked as far as monetarily, but that was an angle that we've never really discussed, how the Lakers would have been if they would have been able to get AD in free agency instead of the trade, because he did bring up, you remember when they could have got Kawhi and Anthony Davis, so they might could have afforded it back then, because I do remember that conversation, but I thought that was interesting.
I think that was I think that would have been like, y'all would have been a perennial top 2, top 3 team if that was the case. Y'all would still be running things in the West, like at the top, if that were to happen, if that would have happened or whatnot, because the other players would have been developed. But then I think about it, that's the glass half full, but the glass half empty is, would LeBron be playing the way that he is now, right? That he's been playing, and them guys would never develop into the players they are now.
Because of him.
Exactly.
But is it just because of him? Were those guys like? And it's crazy because even down to this kid Castle for San Antonio, how good, former Laker, how good he's playing. It seems like when people leave LA, they just find their way. But
we know why. Like what we just said, is that the development is stunted because LBJ needs to touch the ball however so often, and that's why he is like since I think 2020 he's been not leading the league in assists, but he's been averaging nearly 10 assists.
I think he's number 4 right now in the league. If I'm not
mistaken. He's been exactly, and it's a whole bunch of games where he got to burn himself out because he don't trust nobody else running the show, because that's always been his MO. And I think that's not a good look. He need to get back to just playing a 3 or playing a 4.
Before we get up out of here, this is a name, I don't even know what type of topic, but Bronny James. we got to find a way to talk about Bronny James, because we have not talked about Bronny James in a long time. Brian, what's your thoughts, bro? I've never heard your take on Bronny James being a Laker. Let me know what your thoughts is on the Lakers picking him up. Is he NBA ready to you? What's your take on Bronny James, B?
Well, I think the Lakers would have been real. I don't like Bronny on the team.
Okay.
I don't dislike it either. I think I think that the Lakers would have been real a-holes to not sign Bronny, not draft Bronny.
Mhm.
But to me, he's not ready for the NBA. But with the fact that the players that are drafted in the second round that are one and done usually end up in the G League for 2 years.
Mhm.
If you look across the NBA, all those guys in the G League are second round picks. So the fact that he's in the G League is expected. But when I look at him on the court, I don't see that 6'1" undersized guard mentality. Like if you 6'1" and you undersized, you got to be playing like Pat Beverly. You got to be picking up full court. You got
Rod
to be in
Strickland, yeah,
everybody's
yeah, yeah,
pocket.
yeah,
You
yeah,
got to
yeah,
be
yeah.
you got to be fighting over screens. You got to play with a chip on your shoulder. You got to like act like you trying to really make the team. But I don't see that. Like I just see him, like he's a number one pick trying to get his feet wet and like I don't see no urgency in it. And we'll see in 2 years where he ends up, but it don't look good for him so far.
Well, we know the journeys was different, but BA, we watched Bronny grow up. I'm pretty sure his journey was different than Pat Bev. Pat Bev as a dog had to really fight. But BA, can Bronny James develop that that intensity that Brian is talking about, that conviction that shows that I am a significant NBA player? Does he even have it in him? Like some people just don't have it. Time does heal, time does change a lot of things, BA, but when you looking at Bronny James, do you even see the potential of him being on that level?
No, I don't see the potential. Why don't I see the potential is because for his whole life, pretty much he's been given everything.
Right.
He hasn't had to earn anything. He was a McDonald's All American, and he shouldn't have been that. When he went to college, they gave him $7 million off the bat or whatnot because of his pops. He didn't really earn that, and now he got drafted and had got a for sure contract, being the last pick or close to next to last pick, whatever he was in the NBA draft, got millions of dollars, a couple $1 million to play for the Los Angeles Lakers. He did not earn that. This is something like man. You're an ex-athlete, bro. I'm an ex-athlete. We both played college, all of this other stuff. We know that it's a certain type of hunger to be a dog.
Yes.
And a certain type of levels you got to get to. I don't see that in his past. I don't see that like no time soon. And as a human being, I do believe that he has one more shot, but he's gonna have to go to that dungeon. And I think that like his fan base and all of that stuff is too big for him to even think about going back because he already good and he already set, whether
It's like
he
he's
make
too
it or he don't.
privileged. It's like he's too
Yeah,
privileged. He can't get to a dark space. Like what dark
exactly.
place could Bronny go to? I mean, if he almost, like if he almost with this cardiac issue, if he almost died, and that isn't enough, motivation to. And again, this could be just about executing in time, but I just I don't know, man. I just feel like a lot of me feel like he's just not ready. But fellas, what regular average Joe walking in these streets can get steals and stuff like that in an NBA game? So that's why I'll be like, how can we say he's not ready for the league and he's doing things that
Because
I
you
don't
can.
think the regular person can do?
That's the thing about it. There's more people out here that can do exactly what he's doing than you know. They just don't got those connections. You
Ooh.
know this. At his
Yeah,
age,
the
it's more people
connections.
overseas. It's people in high school that's doing what he can do. But he don't. They dogs though. They don't. They pop say LeBron James. You
Right.
feel me?
Right,
That's the difference.
right. That's true. That's true. That's true. And I've been seeing this about LeBron that he's trying to sneak his son in as a role player type, you
Mhm.
know, just as a guy that's out there contributing on a team. Just don't make no mistakes. But we can't have a guy. We need dogs out there, man. You
Right.
gotta
Right.
you gotta be a bow wow. to win a championship, man.
Right.
You gotta dive on the floor. You gotta do all kind of crazy shit to win. You gotta,
You,
you know, pinch people on the butt and blow in their ear and do
you
whatever
see,
you can to win these games, man. Like you got you got to try to get it. It's crazy trying to win championships, man. And it's just, I think LeBron's too old to do that now, and Bronny is
do,
just too privileged.
Yep.
do you see? A prime example for this is a dog, right? This is a dog, and he came up. His dad was in the NBA and all of that. What's his name? Jalen Brunson. Dad
Yeah.
was in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
NBA. He grew up
Yeah.
privileged and all of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But nobody ever looked at him like he was going to amount to anything. He had to go through the depths of the bottoms to get
Right.
his respect and earn his respect and to be who he is now. That's how you earn something. And I'm not saying like I said, this has nothing to do with Bronny as a human being, because I'm sure he's a good kid, etc. But you know, when you got to get, in order to make it, in order to see that light, you must go through the darkness first. And I think he doesn't have it in him to go there.
But even though Jalen, was noticed in Villanova, you don't think that the spotlight came in the Dallas series, even though they, lost that Dallas series that he had? That's what really brought the spotlight on him. Like, he was given an opportunity to shine. Is Bronny getting an opportunity to shine?
Jalen Brunson won a national championship, didn't he? Didn't he win
Respect. That's
two?
why I
And
said I
was
respect. I
and,
respect what he did in Villanova. That's why I started off by saying that. But again, it just seems like, and especially, he didn't get that New York money based off of Villanova.
No,
no,
no, he
no,
had to
no,
prove
no.
it at the Dallas Mavericks, and then he signed as a free
Yeah,
agent.
But it was just
So
that
exactly.
particular postseason that Dallas had, that he had. I just felt like,
His dad put him on, man.
who
His
was his
dad put
dad?
him on to that contract. What's it? Rick Brunson. Rick Brunson. That's his pops. He played. Who did Rick Brunson play for? I think he played for the Knicks. He was a journeyman. His pops was a journeyman or
Okay.
whatnot. And he's been a assistant coach for the Knicks for the past 3-4 years or whatnot. His dad got him connected with that contract, because we know Dolan is one of the worst freaking owners ever of all time, make bad mistakes. And I think that Dolan was really I think he made he didn't really know what he was doing when he actually even gave him that contract, but it was a blessing in disguise. But he had to work. He had to work for that. We talking about, when I say Jalen Brunson, right? Remember, he was a collegiate player of the year, won 2 national championships
mhm.
with Villanova in his stint. And
Oh,
people
really?
still didn't believe in him, because he won 2 national championships and was a Wooden player of the year, first team All-American twice. And
Damn.
he exactly. And he still was a second round pick. So he still had to go to the depths and do what he had to do just so
Right.
people can know who he is.
Yeah, and
But how do
I
we
don't think
blame? Not to cut you off, B, but how do we blame Bronny for his come up? Like, what can you do? Like, LeBron is your father. You have a dream to play in basketball. Like, what else can you do?
You
nothing.
can't
I
blame
mean,
him, man. You can't.
I mean, I guess he wanted to do it. He's out there living the dream. You know, what can you say? The only thing I just think that with his heart thing, I don't know if he really wants to push it. Maybe he has something in the back of his head where he don't want to go that extra, point of
It ain't even
physicality.
that. He just not good. He just not good enough. That's it. I don't even think it's really even hard. I just think that he's just not talented enough as it is. Can he get a little better? Yes, he can get a little better if he just be a defender. Just be a lockdown defender that lock everything up. He can do that, but he don't want to do that though. He want to be he want to be pretty. He want to get buckets like these new era young cats do. That's
So,
what he
Yeah,
want to do, but he's not good enough to do that.
so
yeah,
here's
he
my
got to be grimy. He got to be grimy.
so here's my last question, and it's a 2-part question, and we out of here. First of all, is this more about the story? Because it seems like we all can agree that, and I've heard you say BA as well, and I heard Brian say it tonight, that y'all embrace the story of the father and son. This history. But as far as the actual execution of basketball, him playing, it seems to me like this is just all about saying I did this. This is never about really having a real NBA career. This was just about this moment. Does that look more of a reality? And if so, is LeBron and them disrespecting the game doing that?
You want to go first, B? B, you want to go first?
I think he's definitely disrespecting the game.
Mm.
I think he's disrespecting the game. He might not see it that way, but I think he's been trying to get his son in the NBA since like 5 years ago when he said, "My dream is to play with my son." I just think that put it out there. That put a lot of pressure on the Laker organization. Um, and and then him saying, I'm not gonna. When he put out that tweet, my son could play better than some of these guys on
Yep,
league
yep,
cricket.
yep.
That was very disrespectful. He can't come in on a two-way. He got to be a guaranteed contract. He got to be drafted. That
Mm-hmm.
was disrespectful. Um, but we all know that there are guys that are on the end of those benches on all these teams that don't necessarily deserve to be there, or guys whose careers get cut short earlier than they should, for various reasons that maybe should be on the end of those benches.
Right.
So, I just think that it's funny. I'm gonna bring up this last point. Everybody is focusing on Bronny and talking about him taking food out of other players' mouths and all that, but nobody noticed the three French dudes that got drafted in the first round that came out of nowhere and just jumped over all these American
That's a fact.
players.
That's a fact.
Nobody even said anything about that. Like these guys, I don't even know who they are right now. I can't even say their names, but I know it's three
Stealing.
French dudes that are in the NBA in the first round that came out of nowhere. Like, so if we want to look at some shenanigans, maybe
It's
we
that.
should like not focus on Bronny and focus on the big picture.
Now, BA, before we get out of here, bro, we talked about Bronny and how LeBron really is doing a disservice to the game, disrespecting it. This shit talk about Bryce. How much worse is that, BA, if LeBron is trying to quarterback Bryce into this shit?
Bro, I don't know why everybody is surprised. You already know how I feel about LBJ. He's been disrespecting the NBA for a long time.
Stop it.
He been disrespecting. He has, though. He really has. You already know how I get out. He been disrespecting NBA for a long time. And for him to be, he's going. Bryce is going to be in the NBA, and LeBron is still going to be playing. By the
Damn.
way, I just want y'all to know that Bryce is going to be in the NBA. LeBron's going to play another 3 seasons for real.
Oh,
And he
God.
may not be that great, but he's going to. This is a takeover, bro. I said this in 2019 when he came over. I said, yo, and I was the biggest Lakers fan in the world. You feel me? But I had to take a step back because I knew he was going to do what he's doing now. He's taking the whole thing hostage because it ain't about basketball to him right now. And I don't think it's been about basketball since 2020. In 2020, when they had all them damn future Hall of Famers on their team, I get it. But after that, nah, he just hey, this is money. This is money not only for himself, but he's really he's helping his kids, right? And this is what I like about the father aspect is he's helping his kids get their own build up their own generational wealth. And I know that nobody see it like that, but I don't know if y'all looked into how much money Bronny is making. He's only making, I think, what this year? How much he's making from the NBA?
7?
2 million, 7 million. But that's for like 3 years, right? For like
I
3
think it's
years,
an
I
$8
believe.
million 4-year contract.
So he's making 2
About 2
million
million.
in that. He's making 10 million in
Straight.
endorsements. And
Damn.
and we gonna I don't even know what else he's making. So
You
he's
know he made more
already
streaming doing gaming. He was making more than his NBA contract. I knew that.
and that's what I'm like. This is what I'm saying. He's setting his family up for power moves, even though he got all the money in the world. He's worth 1.6 billion or something like that. He's good, and his kids are good off of that too. But he's actually helping them build their own empires as well. And I can't knock him for it. But at the same time, if you love the NBA, you grew up watching this, you played, you done all of this other stuff, you see how crazy and how disrespectful that can be for the league and for the game.
Yeah, you don't want it to come to the expense of the franchise. All that shit. I get it.
It's
No
like
doubt.
the
It's the
NBA is
league,
his
bro.
sandbox. It's like the
Right,
NBA
right,
is his
right. It's his
sandbox.
playground. Yep.
Yeah, it's his playground. He can do
Yeah,
whatever he want with
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
All
he's
right.
pretty much telling everybody I can do this and y'all can't because I'm me.
Because I'm
And
Right.
that's crazy to me. That is super crazy. You haven't been the best player in the NBA in like I don't know how many years, but you can still do this and move like this. But I understand he's still generating hundreds of millions of dollars for the NBA
Yeah.
just because of his name and what he's
Yeah.
done in his past. So I
Yep.
get it.
Yeah. He deserves more than that, more than 50 million if he was based on
What he
his
brings to the
name and
table. Yep.
marketability.
Yep.
Yeah. He'd be based on more. He'd be worth more than 50 million.